Good afternoon from Epcot. Yes, once again, food and wine is long, and so we will be here quite a few times.
And we're glad you're with us.
One really interesting thing about today, we're getting in a little later, it's about 1:45. There are only 6 lanes open to enter into the park, 6 gates. 2 of those are for pass holders. Not quite so bad, I would think, except Epcot only opened 2.5 hours ago, so it's still a little bit early in the day for Epcot. Plus, 2 o'clock is park hopping time, so I don't know if they're gonna open more lines or if it's just gonna get more and more crowded, but it is really backed up right now. But maybe the park won't be so bad.
So let's go eat. Our first stop of the day is going to be here at the Canada booth.
First up on this lovely toasty day, we've stopped at Canada. We are getting the Le Cellier Wild Mushroom Beef Filet Mignon with truffle butter sauce. It is not the size of the steak you would get in Le Cellier, but it is the same steak. This one, however, is $8.75. I'd have to look up what it is in Le Cellier, but I bet it's closer to $38.75. Don't know, but
I bet it's more than that.
But we will see. This looks awfully good. It smells amazing. So this is actually one of Art's choices. When we first started going through our list for today, it was all sweets. So we had to do a little mixing and matching. The nice thing about this is you can actually cut it with a plastic knife. Look at that. Well, it's not quite as rare as I would like, but hey, it's a festival offering. Make sure I got some of the butter sauce. Make sure I get a mushroom. It's a tasty steak. The mushroom and truffle butter sauce kind of blend together on it, so I'm not sure which I was tasting more of. Nicely seasoned, except something in there, the sauce, the steak, or the mushrooms, or all three, have a little too much garlic for me. I used to love garlic. I could eat garlic all day long. I just can't anymore. I don't know why. People change, right? Okay, so I probably wouldn't order it again just because of the garlic. Plus, it's very chewy for a filet mignon. I do not expect that out of that cut of beef. So, tasty, yes. Probably worth $8.75, the way price of beef is these days. Just not my best flavor.
Well, this one was my choice. I love steak. I love mushrooms. Elizabeth says there's a lot of garlic. Well, I like garlic too. So it does look like it's cooked a little more than I would like, but I expected that. It's still a little pink in the center, so we'll see what I think. I've got some steak, I've got some mushrooms, and I'm ready to give this a try. This steak is really not that flavorful. I can taste it, but what you mostly taste is the mushrooms. I like mushrooms, but I like steak too. And I wish I had more steak flavor. Like Elizabeth said, it's a little chewier than I would expect from a filet mignon. But overall, it's pretty tasty. I like it. Would I get it again? Maybe. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give this a 7.5. It's good, but it's not knocking my socks off. Our next stop is going to be in Ireland.
We've actually added one more item today. The steak was not bad, but the garlic was too much for me. I knew I wouldn't feel well if I ate much more, and we don't have that many savory things on the menu today, so we have added back in what may have been a future dish, the fisherman's seafood pie from Ireland. The signs do not tell you what's in it. Now, I believe I have seen elsewhere that it's some sort of whitefish, probably cod, scallops, and some say shrimp, some say lobster. I'm gonna guess shrimp, but it's topped with a nice crusty baked mashed potato crust topping. Oh,
it's kind of like a seafood shepherd's pie.
Of course it is. It's a fisherman's seafood pie. They don't have sheep. I think that was a scallop. It was covered in so much sauce. I'm pretty sure it tasted like a scallop. Once they all get in there, they kind of start mixing flavors. But it's very satisfying. The crust isn't too thick. You get a nice bite of whatever fish you were getting in your fork. There's a little tiny bit of cheese on the mashed potatoes on the top. Very satisfying. I believe I can have a nice lunch out of this one.
Elizabeth's going to get most of this because I got most of the steak. But I got to find out how good this is. It looks great. So here we go. I've got some of the potato, maybe a shrimp, maybe a scallop. I have no idea. It's pretty good. the flavors all meld together, so I guess mostly what I'm tasting is the sauce. I get the nice texture from the shrimp and the scallop. That's nice. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give this a 6. It's not terrible. Would I get it again? No, I probably wouldn't, but I think Elizabeth's going to really enjoy it.
I do like seafood more than you do.
We've walked over to Morocco.
We are here in Tangerine Cafe to get a cocktail we both marked on our lists. It's the fig cocktail with fig vodka and some sort of cranberry juice. I don't remember, I thought it said white, but I couldn't imagine the fig vodka being pink. Oh well, it's not regular deep red cranberry juice, that I know. So there are some whole allspice on the top here. You can still get a nose, definitely cranberry. It's very good, but it's almost peachy. I don't know if that would be fig with cranberry. I've actually never had fig, not even dried ones if I can remember. Really wanted to try it. I'm not sure I'm still tasting fig. I like it. It's very refreshing. Is it $11 refreshing? Probably not.
Disney alcohol.
I know. Disney alcohol. And it's not a bad size serving for Disney alcohol. Maybe I just need to go find some fig vodka and try it on its own.
Well, this sounds really good. It does have the allspice on top, so I'm going to try not to drink that. I don't really taste the fig. I taste the cranberry. It's refreshing. Because the allspice is floating on the top, your nose smells that, which is nice. So you get your nose involved with it too. It's good. But it mostly tastes like cranberry and diluted cranberry at that. So it's good, it's refreshing, I like it. It's cool on a hot fall day, but it's not very complex. Is it bad? No, it's pretty good. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7. Would I get it again? No, probably not. But that doesn't necessarily make it bad, it just makes it not great.
I've had a bit more. I'm not catching the allspice, but it is whole, so you wouldn't smell as much. Here's the thing. I'm paying $11 for Disney alcohol. I don't taste or feel any alcohol. There's no little alcoholic bite. There's nothing that tells me there's any vodka in here at all. I really am going to have to try to find fig vodka somewhere and try it myself. Luckily, I have a favorite liquor store in town.
This is E from Ohio, and she's on her 3rd bachelorette party. We've made it all the way from North Africa to Germany and up into the Alps. Uh-oh, it looks like there was a derailment in Germany.
We are here at the Alps. One thing we really wanted to try is one of their sweets. They have a blueberry almond frangipane tart. It's actually served warm, which I wasn't expecting, and it has some lovely whipped cream on the side. So we will see. I like all those flavors. The frangipane soaks into the cake, the tart, so that you get that lovely almond flavor. Ah! Lost blueberries!
That is tragic.
It is. Try one with one of these little slivered almonds, get some crunch. I may have misremembered. That might be a lemon cream. Very, very faint, but I think it is. I might have to go look again. They don't often describe their dishes very thoroughly on the menu. You have to look online. But this is delicious for $4.25 or $4.50? $4.50. It's actually a pretty good portion for that. I would have seen something smaller than this in some of the patisseries I used to go to for $4.50. So this is really a pretty good deal, and it is delicious.
Blueberries. I love blueberries. I've got some of the cake, some of the blueberry, a little bit of the whipped cream, and I'm ready. Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. Nothing's overpowering. It blends beautifully.
The cake has some almond flavor in it, which is delightful. The almonds on top that little crunch. The whipped cream adds, everything works on this. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give this a solid 8.5. I can't make it better than the bread pudding from a couple of weeks ago. But it's definitely worth getting. Would I get this again? Oh yeah, this is wonderful. Our last stop of the day is over by Test Track at the Donut Box. So we got the donut box. It is in a box and we are not quite sure what's inside.
All right, we do not know what for. Okay, this is the candy bar donut, or candy jar, excuse me. I wonder why they named it that. Maple bacon is one of the chef's daily. They had 2 chef's dailies today. This is the Black Forest, and that would be the sriracha glazed. Very interesting.
We've gotten out our wipes because this looks like it might be a messy experience.
I'm gonna try this sriracha glazed first because I kind of am a little bit concerned. You know, we gotta quit finding so many food booths we want to try over here by Test Track. Well, the first thing I noticed just cutting into this is it's very bready. It doesn't actually look like a donut, it looks like French bread. So we'll see. It's French bread with a citrus glaze with a little bit of heat. It's not awful. I don't hate it. I don't want another bite either. Not my thing. Now we're gonna try some of this Black Forest. Oh, I think all the donuts are gonna be like bread. So far, I'm not very impressed. Yep, it's French bread. And that is cherry pie filling. So that one is French bread with canned chocolate frosting and canned cherry pie filling. It's the candy jar. So it's chocolate frosted, mini M&Ms, and Twix. Oh, that one's really tough. There's no way to do this with Damalia. This is really big. So, French bread with canned frosting and a whole lot of candy. I don't think we're gonna have the same winning day that we had the last time we were here. Okay, last but not least, I hope it's not least. I hope I've already had least. Maple glazed with bacon.
Sounds good.
I do not want that big a piece. All right, maybe that's something I can get just a bite. There are little fuzzies on the bacon. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Well, that one's the best because I like maple and bacon together, but I don't consider these donuts. I'm actually extremely underwhelmed. Each of these donuts goes for $5 individually. The box is $16, so you get, well, I only said a chef's donut, but I think that must be 2 because there are 2 regulars. The sriracha and the candy jar are always here. But I don't want more of any of these donuts. And I don't think that's just because I'm a little warm and I'm getting tired because it's getting later in the day. I think it's because they are not worth the calories. I don't hate anything. I also don't like anything. They're just meh at best. I could eat all of the bacon off the top of one. That would be really good. But then Art wouldn't get any bacon and he'd be angry. So,
at least disappointed.
That's it for me. I don't want any more of any of these. So what a bummer to end on this. We've had some good things today, but this is not my favorite.
Okay, it's my turn for the sriracha. Not sure about sriracha on a donut. Well, I can taste the citrus with some sriracha. It's kind of strange. The donut itself is more of a bread than a donut. Sort of a cross between a cakey donut, but it's not a cake donut.
It's French bread, I told you.
It's really, that's not a very good donut.
I'm wondering if the sriracha chicken might be better since it does, that bread will hold up better. We might have to come back and try that, but I don't know.
Now I'm going to try the Black Forest cake. Black Forest donut. After the sriracha, I'm not too sure about this one. Get some of the cherry. I usually like chocolate on top of a donut, but I'm worried about this one. Well, it's not Krispy Kreme, that's for sure. The chocolate on top of it tastes a little bit like if you got a chocolate dipped donut at the convenience store right after you pumped your car full of gas. That's really not a very good donut either. And the donut itself is the same as the one under the sriracha donut. And now on to the candy jar. I have a bad feeling about this. Okay, this bite has chocolate on it, probably just like the chocolate on the last donut, and little bitty M&Ms. So the same chocolate that was on the other donut, the little M&Ms, which were actually okay. The same donut underneath. This was still not a really great donut. One more donut to disappoint me, maybe. At least it's got bacon on it. Disney bacon has always been good to me so far. Donut, little maple glaze, bacon. Come on, Disney bacon. That is not typical Disney bacon. It's a little smokier. There's nothing wrong with it. I like it. It's a little different than what I'm used to here at Disney. Donut itself, forgettable. All of these donuts are forgettable. My advice to people coming to the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, don't bother with the donut box.
Well, another day done at Epcot.
Not as successful as the last time we were here, but at least some of the food was pretty good.
Well, one was really good. The others were okay. I think we've used up some of our luck though.
Yeah, and the donut box was a big disappointment.
Big disappointment. The fig cocktail was good, but again, it was disappointing just because we couldn't really taste much except sort of a faintly peachy flavored cranberry juice.
Yeah, and although it was nice, no, I couldn't taste any alcohol in it at all.
I can't see how it would be any different at all without alcohol because as far as I know, it wasn't in there.
And it was certainly priced like it had alcohol in it.
It certainly was. So, not awful, but certainly not worth the price. The steak, kind of the same thing. It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad, and the mushrooms were rather tasty, but it didn't have a whole lot of steak flavor, and it was chewy, which is kind of strange for filet mignon.
Yeah, it should have been pork tender, and it wasn't. The plastic knife could cut it, so that's good. It wasn't like it was...
Yeah, it's not like it was tough.
No, it just wasn't filet mignon tender. It was other steak tender. Now the blueberry almond frangipane tart.
That was pretty darn good.
Major score, that was good. I didn't like it quite as much as Art did. I just felt like it was fairly simple, but blueberry and almond is always good together, so.
And I love that almond flavor in the cake. I really enjoyed that.
Frangipane is always nice, but I even like marzipan, so I adore almond
Well,
flavor
I like marzipan a lot too, you know that.
I know, so top a piece of marzipan with some blueberries and we're good to go.
Yes, we are.
But yeah, finishing up with the donut box, not our best ending ever. So today may not have been a winner, but maybe we used up some of our treat luck. By the time you see this, if you've been watching us all along, you've seen one really fantastic day at Epcot.
Oh, that was really good. Everything scored.
And then we went to Hollywood Studios to start off their Halloween treats, and again, wow, fantastic day, not a loser anywhere. So, a few disappointments today. Goes with the territory, right? I mean, not everything can be good all the time. I'd like it to be.
And now if you come to the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, you know what we didn't enjoy.
You might. Some people do. We've heard from people who really like that candy jar donut, but I think I'd rather have my own donut and put whatever I want on top of it.
Or stop by your local Krispy Kreme.
If you have one. We have to actually travel. For some reason, they don't have anything on the east side of Orlando, but that's okay. We manage.
If you enjoyed this video, hit that notification button. It really helps. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video.
And please comment. That also really helps, and we happen to enjoy it. We like to know what y'all think of our videos.
Are you on social media? So are we.
We are indeed. Our Life on the Go on Facebook and Our Life Go on Instagram. I'm getting a little better about posting more on that, I think. I'm still not doing it every day.
Well, your phone still doesn't work right.
No, my phone still doesn't work right. So pretty much Instagram is occasional photos and reels when we're in the park. But as I keep going, I'll try to get more videos or photos up more often. But let me see. Our Life on the Go on Facebook is a lot of reviews. I do post these videos over there, so if you want to just keep them in one single place, you can do that too. And again, another place for you to comment. If you happen to use Facebook a lot, then see us there and come over and say hi.
And with that said, I'm Art,
I'm Elizabeth.
and this is Our Life on the Go.